Yeah. You enjoy your media duties at the moment, don't you?
I do.
You love all this.
Yeah,
And yet, you're having a bit of a swipe at the media for the treatment of Tottenham right now. And
Yeah.
we're going to hear the other side of the news and sport. You're not happy with some of them.
No, I'm not. I just think I look at, rather than just, there's a result, the team have got beaten 1, 2 or 3 games, whatever it be with Tottenham. The game goes deeper than that, and the whole structure, what you look at, and you've got to be more patient. It's the lack of patience, really. And, I picked the paper up today, and I had it on my mind before I come in to talk about this. I picked the papers up when I got in, and there's a full-page spread in one paper and half a page in another, all about Tottenham and picking holes in Pochettino. This is the same fella 3 games ago that's saying wonderful manager. I don't understand it.
All right, Stuart, we're going to hear about that. As I say, Stuart Pearce is going to have a real dig at some of the people in the media who are having a swipe at Tottenham. It is 10:28.
This Tottenham situation is the main thing.
It's annoyed you?
For me. I don't understand. I like to look at a whole structure of a football club. When some people are criticising certain things, we're so results-driven nowadays, and I can understand that. But I think there's more to it than just the results on any given week or month or whatever. And I'm looking at Tottenham, and I'm thinking, where's the plus column for Tottenham? New ground, new training facility, great academy links, good manager, great squad of players. Harry Kane, England captain, playing for him, fantastic professional. The downside of that is playing Champions League, top 4 team potentially, All of those are in the plus columns. The down column is they've lost 3 games. Well, come on now. Let's get a little grasp on it, and it doesn't work. It's not worthy of a whole page spread or half a page spread on what's going wrong at Tottenham, fatigue, this, that, whatever. Just relax a little bit and see the greater good that's going on at that club, and not just Tottenham, probably other clubs as well.
You're not happy with the way some members of the media jump on this, though, because you think here they're turning a mini drama almost into a crisis.
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say, and it's fans as well, I suppose, in many ways.
They jump on it too, yeah.
Fans heap the pressure on and whatever. I would just look at everything that's going on at Tottenham. The fact that they've not spent anything in this transfer window, I don't see that as a massive negative. I really don't. I think there's somebody here that might just pluck another Harry Kane out the academy to give him a chance, or a Winks out, to give them the opportunity. That's a major plus for me, not a negative. So I would say just take a breather, have a look at the greater good, and let the team flourish and grow.
Having said that, Stuart, do you not accept that? Yeah, I would buy into that argument. Had they won the FA Cup last season, had they won the Carabao Cup last season, if there was a trophy in the bank, yeah, I'd be with you more.
No, I think if they keep evolving like they are, they will eventually win a trophy. In a really competitive world they're in at the moment. I can't name a time when there's been so many strong teams in the top 4 of the division. City are a wonderful team. Liverpool are very good. United are always strong at the moment. Chelsea are strong. So they're up against a hell of a lot of competition. 15 years ago, if they had the same team playing, they'd only probably have to knock United over to get their hands on a trophy. I think they've continually done particularly well over the last few years. They're as strong now in their history than they have been since, as a football club, since probably the 60s when they won a double.
Yeah.
So, for me, they're going in the right direction.
Bob, it's funny. Stuart came in this morning and I watched you. You were looking down, you were looking at a few headlines in a few newspapers, and you're not having it. At times, I mean, this is what can happen, and I described it, and I think I'm fairly accurate with it. Some media people look at Tottenham at the moment and say it is a small crisis, but it could develop. And yesterday we were saying the other night in the San Siro, there were little cracks appearing with Poch, who's normally very mild-mannered, but then suddenly get into, you disrespect me and you disrespect my team.
Yeah, I think what he was doing there, and it's become a popular thing with football managers, this deflection, isn't it? When he knows that his team have underperformed, they do something to take the flak, take a bullet for them. I'll make these ridiculous statements so that they're concentrating on me rather than on the players. Now, listen, they're having a few bad games, but I think Stuart's right in that if you look at it in the context of the next 100 years, as you say. But football fans don't do that. Football fans see things game by game. Oh, we're rubbish, or oh, we're brilliant. It's as simple as that. And people are looking at Tottenham now, having spent the last 3 years, saying this is a brilliant team. They've got young English players. They're the future. Everything's going to be great. And now they're saying, nah, they're not good. They're rubbish. 3 games, he's got to go. Because that's how they do it. And football fans tend not to look at the bigger picture. But, you're absolutely right. The bigger picture, although I know I'm an idiot, a lone voice shouting like a fool in the wilderness, but I'm telling you, there is more amiss with the building of that new stadium than we're being told. Okay, it's as simple as that. There's a whole lot. I'm not going into
you've always been suspicious.
There's a whole lot going on at Haringey Council. Haringey Council have been taken over by a very extreme. I don't want to use the word faction, but they have. Who I don't think want them building on this site that they own at White Hart Lane. Right. There's all stuff going on, and the situation there. I don't believe that is translating to the dressing room, because I do believe that
players don't bother about things like that.
Keep things simple. But as far as the form goes, I think it's temporary.
You see, I'm with you to a degree, and it's funny, Stuart. You guys see it differently from us. I mean, we are in the media. That is it. You are a top pro. And the other night I was in the company of another former top professional who's texted me to remind me of the conversation we had. I won't name him, but he's saying it's simple. Tottenham played really well the other night in the San Siro. And in his view, he was telling me that he thinks Spurs are at least 2 or 3 years ahead of their schedule since Pochettino took over. And he says performances in some cases are more important than results. He was telling me 4 out of 6 games they've played well. They've had a better start to this season than they have had to the last 2 seasons. But he was saying to me, ex-players see that, but the media won't look at that.
Yeah, I agree to a certain extent with that. I don't think they played particularly well. I think they continually tried to play out from the back and lost possession of the ball. Now against a potential stronger side, if you keep giving the ball away in your own half, the ball's going to end up in your net. It didn't in the first half. But there's a bigger overview of this. There's an evolution of Tottenham as a football club. I can't remember playing or watching a Tottenham squad as strong as it is now.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And would you agree? Would you agree that they are about 3 years ahead of the schedule?
Well,
that they are way ahead of themselves at the moment. I think the stadium thing is a distraction, no more than that, as far as players are concerned.
Yeah, but the problem with Tottenham's game the other night is that they were a better team. They were outplaying them. They went a goal up, and they were bossing the game. And then, I'm just repeating what I said yesterday. Then Milan came back with a brilliant goal. No one could do anything. It was a fantastic goal. Now that game should have been, if that had been Liverpool, that game would have been 1-1. Okay. They're away from home. They're in the San Siro. They're not going to try and win it now. 1-1, tie that up. It's nice. I think Man United would have got 1-1. I think Arsenal would have got 1-1. I think Liverpool, a lot of teams would have got 1. The fact is they got beat, and they got beat because right at the end they lost concentration. There were 2 unchallenged headers in their box, and it's little things like that start to eat away at confidence.
I think that they've ended up conceding a second because they were trying to win the game themselves, if I'm being honest with you, and that might be the newfound confidence that Tottenham has of a football club, rather than going to Inter. If they were going to Inter 10 years ago, they'd have said, well, we'll take a point, we'll defend ferociously. They didn't do that. They went after the game. Even when it went 1-1, they went after the game.
Yeah, so, I mean, in the past they might have settled for a draw on that one, but they didn't. They go after it, and as you rightly say, that is where they find themselves at the moment. So